Virgo is not what most people think it is. When we look at the astronomy of the constellation, Virgo is not simply purity, with all its picky perfection, not simply order, with all the organizing, calculation, and books. It is a field of pressure, of refinement, and of passage. The theme that emerges from its celestial objects is this: leaping through hoops. When we look at the Virgo constellation, we are not just looking at stars. And please note that we are talking about the actual constellation, not the zodiac sign, which is out of sync with its constellation. At this point in history, Virgo constellation lies at the location of 24 degrees Virgo across Libra to 10 degrees Scorpio. Looking toward Virgo, we are looking in the direction of one of the great structures of our local universe, the Virgo supercluster. Its nucleus lies within Virgo, though it extends far beyond it. Tens of thousands of galaxies interacting, merging, reshaping each other. This is not a static region. It is a place where systems are tested and transformed. Across Virgo, a pattern emerges, not always obvious at first, but unmistakable once seen. Circular structures, rings, loops. The black hole in M87, a glowing ring around absence. This was the first black hole ever imaged. A quasar, revealed in detail only when its bright center is masked. This is a more active form of black hole that gives off a lot of light as it draws in a lot of material. The light in a quasar is much brighter than its whole galaxy host. This one, 3C273, is the brightest quasar in our sky. Galaxies with tidal streams looping matter through space as one galaxy cannibalizes another, as in the M86 galaxy with its filament to the dwarf galaxy NGC 4438. The Sombrero galaxy, with its tidal stream looping around itself, looking like the rim of a big hat. Even the way we observe these objects requires us to pass through a kind of hoop, filtering, masking, interpreting. The pattern is not decorative, it is structural. Something passes through and is changed. This same principle appears not only in the sky, but in human life. The angel of Virgo is Barbara McClintock, a scientist and an outsider. Born in 1902, she entered a world that did not easily accept women in science. She was blocked, resisted, and often worked alone. Her mother was eager that she be prevented from becoming unmarriageable as a reclusive, cerebral scientist. Barbara did her degrees at Cornell in agriculture and in botany. Her discovery changed biology and established foundations for many of the physical sciences. She found that genes are not fixed. They move, they rearrange, they jump. What we now call transposable elements. Today, it is understood that a large portion of the human genome operates in this way. Structure is not static. But what made McClintock's work different was how she saw. She described entering a state where her awareness became part of what she was observing. Today, neuroscience recognizes that disciplined mental practice can physically reshape the brain itself, a phenomenon now known as neuroplasticity. Barbara learned forms of mental focus influenced by Tibetan practices, and was even able to manage pain at the dentist through these methods. She explored disciplines of awareness said to influence bodily processes normally considered beyond conscious control, including the regulation of temperature. Her father had been a homeopathic and holistic physician, and it was through the culture of this Celtic side of the family, they were descended from Scots in Ireland, that another tradition of healing and perception quietly entered her world. Barbara did not abandon science. She combined deep intuition with rigorous testing, a fusion of perception and method, discipline and intuition. This is profoundly Virgo. It's interesting that the subject of her testing, maize, is one of the greatest treasures of Native American culture, the multicolored corn plant. Now a great struggle is mostly being lost against invasive engineered corn. The industrial control and patenting of plant genomes has become one of the least resolved ethical tensions of the modern age. So let's be aware of the duality of Virgo. How are we leaping through hoops, and why? Barbara McClintock famously warned that the genome is a highly sensitive organ that responds to shocks and stress. She believed that when a genome is challenged by something unexpected, it can trigger massive, unpredictable reorganizations. Barbara never married. From a young age, she expected she wouldn't marry. Her life was devoted entirely to her work. She lived almost like a monastic figure. Her ideas were rejected for decades, and yet she persisted. This, too, is a form of leaping through hoops. Virgo does not only show us process, it shows us consequence. The same knowledge that reveals the adaptability of life can be used to manipulate it. McClintock's work laid foundations for fields that can both heal and disrupt. This is where Virgo becomes a question. What are we doing with the power to change structure itself? And how do these altered gene plants affect our health and the health of farm animals who eat almost nothing but engineered foods? In its highest form, leaping through hoops is the soul's journey through initiation and mastery. In its shadow, it becomes the circus of ambition, endless performance, seeking approval, stripped of meaning. Even in the cosmos, nothing only takes. From the black hole in M87 emerges a vast jet of energy, a return. Virgo reminds us there must be balance between what we take and what we give. Virgo is not passive. It is the intelligence of cultivation, the discipline of transformation, and the awareness that every passage has consequence. The question is not whether we leap, but why, and what we become on the other side.